Hello, lovely people. It is time to take your seats at the table and find out the inspiring story of Daniel Tworfile, the Kenyan physicist who has been selling sachet water and basically venturing into entrepreneurial path to be able to accrue funds to sustain her academic education. Stay with us and enjoy the conversation. My name is Augustine, and this is Voclar. So thank you for staying right here with us. You're watching us on Vogue Live, and I'm currently here with Dr. Daniel Tworfile. Dr. Daniel, thank you for coming here.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So how are you doing? How's life been for you?
Oh, by the grace of God, I'm doing good.
Nice. Indeed, the grace of God does about. Now, this is what I normally do. Whenever I'm having conversations with my guests, I love to give them the platform to tell us who they really are, regardless of, what people may know or have about them. So let's kickstart the conversation with you telling us a little bit about you.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I'll send my greetings to the followers and the lovers of Bulk Life of KNUST. As you correctly mentioned, my name is Tworfile Daniel, popularly known as Dr. HU,
Doctor.
the only official pure seller.
I'd love to get a bit more into this, but then we are going to definitely arc back to that. So kindly continue with it.
Okay, so I'm a student of KNUST. I'm a North Nansu.
Right.
The name Daniel is given me by my parents. Daniel Tworfile is given. The Tworfile is my father's name, which is not easy to pronounce sometimes. I started my secondary education in what do you call it, Sakibodi. That's Sakibodi Senior High School.
Body.
In my DEC results, I had it at Enchi. That's in common DA JHS. So that's how my DEC. So that a little bit I can say about Dr. HTU or Tworfile Daniel.
Right. In one word, what would you describe, the treatment life has been, right from this get-go? I mean, from where you live to going to high school, what one word would you use to describe what life has been for you?
One way, I would say life is an examination or life is an exams.
Wow.
That we go through. It's a transition from a stage to another. Life is not easy. Whether you are rich, poor, a woman or a man, life is not easy. You have to pass through many trials, many temptations before you get to where you want to be. Even where you are, you have achieved your goal, life will be easy for you.
Right. Yeah. Man, I don't know. You need to take a pause and then replay this because this is indeed in depth. But then again, one of the most difficult things that I have come to understand is entering into the phase of entrepreneurship. That's one of the most difficult things I've come to understand. And what's even a killer vibe is adding, being a student of life. But I want us to definitely delve a bit deeper into this. How possibly were you able to balance between being an entrepreneur and also being a student of life altogether? But I understand that you started, with plantain chip selling, and then along the path of life, you transition into other sectors. Tell us a little bit about that. How did you get into plantain chip selling?
Okay, thank you very much for this question. Right. When you talk about entrepreneurship, this is my side as an explanation to entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is when you find a problem somewhere and you decided to solve that problem.
Right.
That's entrepreneurship for me. We are solving the problems of people or of your community, the people who live around you. So I started selling plantain chips because I saw the problems my people were going through. And based of financial instabilities, I try to balance the two, both of solving the problems and getting myself some profits.
Right.
But the problems were they're the most essential thing for me. Yeah. So I started selling plantations in the year back 2011 when I was in my JHS.
Ooh.
Mom used to sell plantain chips. So I try to support my mom.
Wow.
So whenever I'm going to school, my mom will give you some of the plantain chips, like 10 into my bag. So when I go, I'll sell it to my friends. So that's how I started selling plantain chips. Yeah.
And so how long have you been doing this? Because I understand within the course of the years, you should move or shifted, your gears to something else. How long have you been into plantain chips selling?
Okay, for the plantain chips, I would say like it wasn't consistent. Because it was once a while when I'm going to school. And that then time I was very young to be on the street. So my mom didn't allow me, and the people never didn't allow me. So it was between me and my classmates and my friends on campus. So I would say like I started JHS2. So I was 2 years JHS2 going to JHS3. That's when I started selling plantain chips to my students or to my friends on campus. And sometimes my teachers will come and even buy some. That's how.
Wow, wow, wow. Within the path of entrepreneurship, one thing that I know is taking up jobs like these, the perspective from many is you know, this is not the way to go. And then there are times where there is this inner critique, and sometimes people are also going to criticize you. I mean, why would you be going into this, right? And then you have your fellows, giving you all sorts of opinions. That's one way or another will sort of demotivate you from back into this particular path. But I would love for us to arc back to this because you also entered into, sachet water selling. At some point, you also entered into different sectors altogether. But I want us to arc back to this, along the lines of our conversation. Now, with the same plantain chip selling issue, how has it been for you?
Yeah, it wasn't be easy because it was against the rules of the school. But first of all, I was sent an apology to my school, my former school, the JHS. It was against the rules that a student should sell.
Should know from campus.
Yeah, it was against. So sometimes I'll hide it in my bag and sell it to my friends. And some will buy on credit. They knowing that it is against the rules of the schools, they will pretend not to pay or they won't pay at all.
Ooh.
Yeah, so when you go to worry them, ask them for your money, they will start like, we'll cry. I didn't know what it is not allowed to inform the headmaster. It was very difficult, especially my friends. My friends will come to me, oh, give it to me, I'll pay on credit. Or give it to me on credit, I'll pay maybe tomorrow or next. We give the plantations to the person. Later on, the person will be like, worry you, like, if you worry me for the money, I'm going to report you because this is against the rules of the school. And my mom will be the one who be chasing me for the money. So it wasn't been easy. But I tried. Sometimes I'll pay them for the money. Some will pay, some will pay. Yeah.
Bro.
So sometimes at the end of the day, I'll have made me no profit or sometimes even lost. Yeah. But I didn't give up because I wanted to support my mom. Yeah.
Man, I am virtually taken aback by this. I think one of the most terrible things that could happen to a man or could happen to a person is, trying to do something for yourself, plus trying to remedy a problem that you have identified within the society. And then people are going to leverage on that to take advantage of you. I think that's one of the most terrible things that possibly could happen to any man. Now, you were also schooling. You were students of life, going through school. You also had the objective of helping your mom raise the funds so that you'll be able to go to school. Now, how are you able to balance things out? And how has that been for you right in that particular perspective? How are you able to balance, trying to sell and also schooling alongside?
Okay, so this question, I would like to send you to my SHS 11. And so immediately after Brody College, JHS, after my DHC examination, I had admission to Sakibodi Senior High School, right? Yeah, so that was September 2018, I had admission to. And my mom won't be able to pay my school fees. We sat down, pray, think about it. Danny, how are we going to achieve your dream as a doctor? Because you want to help people who are sick. That's my major vision, that you be able to help people who are sick. So I told with my mom, and after that, my mom told me, why can't you do something small to support yourself or to support me? Because I'm not able to take, even we are not having the transportation from Enchi to Sahibodi.
How much more afford for the tuition?
All right. So I decided to do something small. So we went for support, borrow some money from others. When I went to the school, I decided to do something. Okay, that's when I like notice, I identify another problem that needs to be solved. So that's when I started selling the pure water at Saribodi. So I was a student and still selling the pure water at Saribodi Senior High School.
Oh, this is quite, I mean, too deep.
Sure.
And then I'm so appreciative that you've taken time of your schedule to be here and to share this with us. Um, now kindly let us know, venturing into sachet water selling when you go back in high school, right? Did you stop selling plantain chips, or that was something you were also doing as an addendum to selling water?
Well, as I earlier said, there were more challenges in the plantain selling business as compared
To the water.
to the water. Yeah, because this is the case. As a student, you can't sell on campus. You can't sell. It is against the rules of the Ghana Education Service. You can't sell on campus. So I think me doing my own business outside campus without any trouble, because at the end of the day, I'll create a trouble for my mom if I try to break the rules of the school. So I decided, okay, the profits, the plantations, one was 3 cedis, and the water, one sachet water was 20 pesos. But I decided to do away with the risks, with the problems, and for a good citizen, we have to break the rules of the country or the nation. So I decided to stop the plantations and venture into the pure water seller. Because both of these businesses are going to solve a problem. So I decided to use the water instead of the plantations. So that's why I stopped the plantation selling and venture into the pure water selling.
Right, right. I think one of the most competitive, highly competitive venture you could ever enter is sachet water selling. Particularly speaking, because if you are to take a step, every 1 second you are going to find somebody selling sachet water. So how are you able to manage and properly fit in?
Okay, I said when I went to Sahubuli, I identified a problem. So there were limited people selling Sahubuli, selling water Sahubuli. Yeah, so I decided to join the streets, make sure that the people over there will get access to water in their comfort zone. So I'll carry your water going around, make sure that the market women who are selling tomatoes and other stuff will get water to drink. Yeah, so there were limited people selling on the streets, in the market of Sahubuli. So I decided to join, create a little profit for myself and also support the people over there.
Right, right, right.
Sure.
So how long were you doing, were you into the business of selling water as well?
Okay, I'll say I started 2019,
2019.
23rd September.
Oh,
That
okay.
happened to my birthday. So I started 2019, 23rd September.
Ooh,
On Sahibodi. There was a funeral over there in front of the Sahibodi, what do you call it? Palace, Chief Palace. Yeah, there was a funeral over there, and I decided to start that particular day. So when I started, I got people who patronize my business.
and that day happened to be your birthday.
Yeah, happened to my birthday. Actually, I was not having a meeting on me. And I called a friend I believe that he can support me financially. Say more. So I decided to do that. Yeah, sure. So there's a woman in front of Sahibodi Chief Palace. It's called Auntie Awube. Auntie Awube. Many people call her sister. I went to this woman, pleaded, Mommy, please, can you be here some? She said, "Sure." Up to many people, they come for the water, they won't even come and pay. I said, "Hey, me, I'll pay. I'll buy the water and go and sell. The only thing I want is you just give me the water. So that I'll go and sell and get some profit from it because I don't have money and I don't want to beg. So give me the water." So this woman called my mom, talked to my mom, and
You get some sort of
that's her. There's some form of restaurant before she gave the water out. So that's where I started. When I started, that is September 23rd, 2019, Sahibodi, in front of the Chief Palace. Those watching me from Sahibodi can testify to it.
man. You have been doing this right from high school, and then you use that to even enter the university.
Mm.
Somebody would understand that in high school it is a different environment compared to you being in the university, because in the university you have quite a lot of people from different diverse backgrounds, right? And so it comes with some sort of shyness, some sort of reservation on your part, so that you have some, a whole lot of different people. So how were you able to still stay right on track with this?
Okay, even in my SHS level, my classmates, my schoolmates, even my teachers used to tease me as a surah. Let's them out to su in our them out to su the lie then. But there was no option, a remove option than to sell the water. But at the end of the day, when I compare the teasing, the laughing, like everything, when I compare those things to the profit I will get at the end of the day, like I'll say no. If I stop because of this teasing and other stuff, what am I going to spend on? What am I going to depend on? And my mom also said that anything that you are doing and there are criticism, there are teasings, mocking and everything, keep on doing that. That's one of the motivation I have from my mind. But keep on doing that. And if you cry over something, don't cry over that same thing again. My mom told me to cry. If things become hard, I can cry, but I should make sure that I won't cry because of the same reason. So I decided, okay, then they are mocking me, they are laughing at me. By the end of the day, I'll get money. Oh, it's me. I'm not stealing. I'm not taking, yeah, I'm not begging, yeah. So I decided to continue. So the embarrassment, people will be laughing at you, showing some sort of names of you. So a time came, I decided to accept any name that they will call me. So I started responding to any names, and that put a stop to whatever they were doing.
Right. I think I need to take a segue right here and highlight as a subtitle the inspirational words from mom. And from the mother of Daniel, she says that whatever you try to do that, you know, calls for a lot of criticisms on the part of many people, just keep at it. And all that you have to make sure is whatever you are crying over at the moment, make sure that within the course of time, you don't end up crying over the same thing ever again. I am marveled and completely inspired by how in-depth these words are. Right. Now, I wanted to talk about something, but then before we, segue into that, what has been, the significant challenges you have encountered, right from the start of things, from high school, starting with plantain chip setting, and then venturing into sachet water setting. What has been some of these significant challenges you have encountered?
So one of the major challenges I went through is academically, right? When I started selling this water, I noticed that I'm coming down academically, because you spend the whole day in the market, and mathematically, the amount of stress or strain that we use, you have to rest. You have to use that same hours to rest. That's how I understand it. I don't know. I use like 6 hours in the market, and in the night, like even learning is very difficult because you are tired. Yeah, so I find learning very difficult. Immediately I started this word. I try my possible best to combine the two. So academically, I know, like I'm not a shark though, as people say, but I was doing well. My JHS, okay, I was doing well. But when I ventured into pure water setting, I see that I was like it was affecting, but there were no way to like stop this pure water setting, because if you stop, you are going to drop out from school, because PTA dues and other books that you have to buy and other fees you have to pay. So I decided then, okay, let me drop academically, right? Then I'm the pure water selling, then push myself. So it's better than you doing school drop. So
Because there is no fun.
all because there's no fun. And also, what do you call it? Back in DHS, it was like some form of embarrassment for me selling of pure water. When you go out, people see you, they have sort of thing that will call you. So I was finding it difficult to go closer to people, especially friends on campus, or finding it very difficult to get closer to people because I'm selling pure water. And I feel like why you are even try to go close to my face. And anytime you try to go closer to them, do try like, hey, pure water me. I don't know whether it was some sort of jovial way or something. Or they will refer you sort of names which I don't feel like good about that things. So these are the things that were fighting against me. Like, but these are the challenges that I'm going through right now, academically. Right now, after I started branded this thing, like I can see people are coming. People are coming, but academically, I'm so struggling to get to where I wanted to be.
Right, right. You mentioned branding, right? And I'll definitely want us to venture into that. How come you had the name Dr. H2O? I'm very much interested in that. But before we come to that, amidst all these tremendous challenges that became completely overwhelming, and I understand sometimes whenever all these criticisms are being leveled against you, are being thrown at you, right? You find yourself in a space where you literally can't see a ray of light. And in that moment of these times of your life, what would you say was a steadying force that enabled you to push through every phase of the challenge that it presented?
Okay, one of the major reason why I'm doing all these things, it's not money. Yesterday I told a friend that if you are in the university because of money, then you are in the wrong place. Yes, but I'm actually pushing going through all the challenges because I want to achieve my dream. The sickness is one thing that I don't like. If I see someone like being sick, I'll feel the sickness in me. So I will try my possible best to fight against all these things, or even in future to be able to design a machine that can fight against or diagnose patients and cure that disease immediately. Because you see, doctors respond times like
Knocking on research,
always
you know.
conducting a research to find out what is wrong with the patient. When that is going on, some even pass away, yeah, because of this time that they are wasting. I'm trying my possible that in future I'll be able to develop a machine that will automatically diagnose a person and identify the disease and even the cure for the disease. So this my aim. It's the reason why I'm fighting to get to the top. Yeah, and I'm currently here for a knowledge, not to get money, not to get a greener pastures someday. No, like to achieve my dream. So I wanted to venture into a medical school, but financially I couldn't pay my fees when I was admitted as a doctor for 3 years. And I'm studying DSC physics, and I believe physics can lead me there. I do mechanics and do all sort of courses that can lead me there. So I'm trying my possible best that I'll go through all the challenges. One day, I'll be a beneficiary to my community.
Right. Sharing this dream, there is no shadow of doubts. They say that if your dream doesn't scare you enough, then it's not a dream, right? Or then perhaps you're not dreaming big enough. I think there's quite a way to go. I mean, but I strongly believe that having this on your heart and being so intense on achieving this, you definitely achieve it. But just a quick one. Have you ever been afraid?
Yes.
What specifically?
Let me say, as a human being, you have to be afraid of things. This everything created by God is beneficial, is important to mankind, but you have to use it positively. Yes. So one of the things that I'm afraid of even now is not able to achieve my goal. I'm fighting my possible best to get there, to achieve the goal, what I've been fighting for. So one of my possible things that I'm afraid of is not able to achieve my dream one day, upon all the struggle, all the journey. Like that's what I'm afraid of.
Right, man. Man, there's something else. It's very inspirational for me. And I believe you also enjoy the conversation we are having. Now that brings me to this part. Why the name Dr. H2O? Because this is popular everywhere. You go here, people are saying here is Dr. H2O. I mean, for somebody that right from the start of things, people are leveling a whole lot of criticisms against saying, hey, be here. Why the name Dr. H2O?
Okay, that's a very nice question. So the name is Dr. H2O. That's H2NO. That's a chemical formula for water.
Right.
Yeah, sure. It's not Dr. H20 as people will say. So the name came about, I was named after a doctor who delivered me, right, in Government Hospital. She's Dr. Kujo. And I'm a Monday born too. So my family members and friends, those who are from HE, they call me Dr. Kujo. So when I started selling and the branding, my colleague classmates decided to call me Dr. Water.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Water.
Right.
Yeah, but they modelize the water like using the scientific name for the Dr. H2O. And as it stands now, when I go to markets, the market women who are educated, they call me Su Doctor. So doctor. So let me add this. The dressing came when I closed from church. That was in Sahibodi. One Sunday, going back to my to the house to find something small to do. I don't normally sell on Sundays. I do it Saturdays and other weekdays. So when I came across a pitch, a football field. They were playing a football match, and the coach attending that they want water to drink. So me going back to the house and coming back, I think no, maybe we better be symmetry. There's someone would come here. So I decided to go to my break, go ahead with it. Yeah, take my pan and go and serve them because I can see they need water at that moment.
Man, that was just a boost.
Yeah, sure. So I went to the woman and asked, "Oh, auntie, please, can you give me water?" Auntie really said, "Oh, go and change." I said, "No, they will take someone else. I need money." And this one, they'll buy like 4 bags because they're a team of, yeah. So I went there with my seat, but immediately I carried the water. Like some centimeters away from the store, people were like, "Hey, Charlie, I'm buying water. Hey, I'm buying water. Hey, doctor, and what?" So I decided to start with the branded.
That was an issue right there.
That right there. So I noticed when I went to, I was like, is it because of what do you call it, the dressing or why? The mic, yeah, it's the dressing because normally every day these people you carry water, they don't buy. So why is that today they are buying?
You're buying.
So it's like it's because of the dressing. So I added the dressing from there. And because I was called as doctor, I decided to add my lab coat to it. Yeah.
Bro. Daniel has highlighted the essence of branding right here. And clearly, his way of branding himself has enabled him to search through all these and has created that platform where he has been able to amass quite a number of customers in his endeavor. I mean, this is quite interesting to you about it. Now, I want us to quickly tackle this, right? Understandably, when you want to venture, you want to embark on a startup, you want to go in a business, create a business, there's this inner critique, there's this fear of doubt, fear of the unknown. That's okay. I mean, what lies out there for me, right? And then you feel like, okay, I mean, it is way, way better to stay in your comfort zone than try to embark on something way, way riskier than you, right? And so the ability to take that very first bold step, right, with that sort of bravery within you and start whatever it is you have in your heart have become quite problematic for quite a number of people these days. You have had quite an experience in such areas, taking the very first bold step in selling first plantain chips, going ahead with sachet what's selling. And understanding you're even adding quite some side things as well, just to be able to accrue a lot of money. Now, what would you say, right, to be able to urge people who are out there? You have this fear of doubt, you have this fear of the unknown. That's okay. What lies out there for me? Being in this moment, what would you say to these people?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for this question. I always say, and it is part of my motivation to like to serve as an example to the people of Ghana, and especially the youth, to be entrepreneurs in their small ways, so that we can all eliminate the unemployment rate in Ghana.
Right.
I really believe that entrepreneurship is one of the major solution to Ghana's unemployment rate. So the youth should find something small doing. But before you start anything, ask God, is this my step? We have many people who are pursuing a course, a program in the university that they have no idea. Friends are going there. That's why I'm also
Maybe we just down the road.
So there's one girl who contacted me from TikTok that, please, I want to start selling to you. I said, really? Can you sell? I say, yes. Can you carry this? I said, hey, 2 bags of water, I can't. So then pray about it. Ask God, what can I do to support myself? Because the Bible says that heavens help those who help themselves. So God knows that automatically my people will do something to help themselves. So it's left with you to ask God, what do I do so that you help me? So we don't stand up doing anything, selling anything. No, you have to pray. So as I said earlier on, I prayed with my mom. We spent a night, prayed, God, what can my son do so that we can support him? What can my son do? And we prayed. And after praying to you, you have to add logic. So okay, let me work for this person. And I calculate, okay, this company, if you are working with them, they won't allow you to come to work only on Sundays. They even worry you to come on weekdays. You have to stop school and come. So that place didn't work. So the only thing that worked was entrepreneurship, for me to do something small to support myself.
Right.
You have your own time. You decide when you have to go to the market, when you go to sell, when you learn. Do you understand what I'm doing? So anyone watching me out there, I'll urge you people, do something small to support yourself. But before you start, pray and ask God the type of work that you're supposed to be.
Right.
Like entrepreneurship is the best for the youths. Try to do something. And when I started, I have people who motivated me, not like voluntary, but I know their stories, especially despite the man who owned a KFC or something. I read about them. How did they start it? How did they get there? How did they do it? I read about these people and I decided, okay, entrepreneurship. Then let me find something small to do because heaven helps those who help themselves. God is not a magician. Come and give you money. No, do something and the help will come. So this is the only thing I can tell, especially the youth who are watching out there. Now let's do something small to support ourselves. I'm serving an example. I started as a plantain seller from nowhere, pure water seller. And here is Dr. HTO right now. Very soon, you see me up there.
Very soon, very soon indeed, very soon indeed. Man, this is absolutely remarkable. And I believe you have enjoyed this conversation to this particular point. And you have said a lot of things. I think, the whole point of entrepreneurship is one of the most difficult things we are facing as a youth today. We're not willing to grow, we're not willing to learn or learn and then relearn things that have become part of our societies today. All right, and so Dr. H2 says, let us all be willing to grow. Let us take upon ourselves, the task of entering and venturing into the path of entrepreneurship. Now, I want to give you the platform to see what you have, finally first.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Dr. HT, the only official pure water seller in Ghana. I'll urge everyone who is watching me, especially the youths, to try and do something small to support yourself. Try to venture into entrepreneurship. As I defined life in the very beginning, that life is very tough, even if you are rich. Despite facing problems, our president is facing problems. So entrepreneurship is something that if you venture into, you are going to face problems. But my mom said, anything that you start and there are problems, there are challenges, there are mockery, there are criticisms, please keep on doing that thing and don't give up. So thank you very much for watching me and try your possible best to help yourself so that we can all eliminate the unemployment rate in Ghana. Thank you very much.
Well said, well said. I mean, this has to be put, in a way and manner. I mean, you guys would have to replay it all over again because it has been quite interesting, quite inspiring, and quite educational. And I believe you had a good time with us. So, for all our viewers out there, thank you for staying right here with us. This is Volklight. I believe you enjoyed the conversation. If you did, kindly leave the comments in the CS below. Now, until next time, continue to take a risk and embark on an entrepreneurship journey. See you next time.